A woman who keeps giving birth to babies, but every single child dies just moments after being born. And the most horrifying part? The father of those children was her own father. This isn't just a horror movie. It's a story about the darkest side of humanity. The film begins with a government worker arriving in a remote village for a census survey. He spends the day painting identification numbers on electric poles. After working for hours, he gets thirsty and walks toward an old isolated house nearby to ask for water. But the moment he gets close to the house, he hears the painful cries of a woman coming from inside, along with the cries of a newborn baby. The sounds are so disturbing that the expression on his face instantly changes. A few seconds later, the door slowly opens, and the man standing there can barely even walk properly. From that very moment, the movie slips into a dark and terrifying tone. The story then shifts to a young woman named Anuja. Anuja works as a teacher at a government school in the city. She dreams of becoming independent and building a life for herself. But her family wants something completely different. Her father keeps pressuring her to quit her job and return to the village because her marriage has already been arranged. At school, Anuja meets a girl named Neha. Neha seems cheerful on the outside, but deep down, she's also living under fear and pressure. One day, the school assigns both girls a village census survey task. As they move from house to house collecting information, they notice a strange isolated house standing near the edge of the village. Just looking at it makes both of them uncomfortable. But because of their duty, they decide to knock on the door. A few seconds later, the door slowly creaks open. Standing there is a woman with an unnaturally blank expression on her face. Her name is Purna. Heavy rain suddenly starts pouring outside, and Neha casually walks into the house to avoid the rain. Anuja reluctantly follows her inside. The atmosphere inside the house feels suffocating and disturbing. That's when they notice something shocking. Purna is pregnant. During the survey, Anuja casually asks, "Is this your first child?" And Purna replies in an eerily calm voice, "My babies are born. They cry for a little while, and then they die." The moment she says that, the entire atmosphere changes. A chilling silence fills the room. Then Anuja notices deep bruises around Purna's neck. At that moment, she realizes something horribly wrong is happening inside this house. Just then, an old woman named Leela enters the room. The anger and hatred on her face are impossible to ignore. And outside, they encounter a man named Bola. The way he stares at the girls instantly sends chills down their spines. But by now, Anuja is certain of one thing. This house is hiding something terrifying. A few days later, Anuja decides to return to the house again. Neha is terrified and refuses at first, but eventually agrees to go with her. This time, the atmosphere feels even more disturbing. They learn that another man named Ghanshyam lives there. The strangest thing about him? He hasn't spoken a single word in 5 years because of a so-called vow of silence. But the quieter he is, the more terrifying he feels. When Anuja asks about Purna's baby, Leela coldly replies, "The child died a week ago."
No sadness. No emotion.
Nothing. Heavy rain traps the girls inside the house for the night. During dinner, they discover another strange rule. The family feeds their cow before anyone else is allowed to eat. But the most disturbing thing is Purna herself. The way she eats, the way she moves. It feels like her soul has already died. Late at night, Anuja can't sleep. She quietly walks toward the window, and suddenly freezes in fear. Outside, she sees Ghanshyam dragging a man toward a small isolated shed. For a moment, it looks like he's dragging a dead body. Terrified, Anuja wakes Neha up, and both girls decide to escape. But when they try opening the doors, every exit is locked from the outside. Somehow, they steal a key and sneak outside. Then they slowly approach the shed. The moment they open the door, their hearts stop. Inside is the same government worker from the beginning of the movie. But now, his condition looks horrifying. The girls panic and run back. At that moment, they realize they've become trapped inside something far more dangerous than they ever imagined. Back in the room, they discover Anuja's phone battery is completely dead. Now they are fully trapped inside the nightmare. The next morning, the girls desperately try to escape, but their scooter gets stuck in deep mud. And seconds later, Bola and Gonsham arrive. Now the girls are captured and locked inside a basement-like room. Darkness, fear, screams. Neha cries for help. But Bola responds by throwing boiling hot water on her. Her horrifying screams echo throughout the basement. Slowly, Anuja begins connecting all the pieces together. Purna was never Ghansham's wife. She was another victim. Just like them. Then the movie reveals its darkest truth. The man abusing Purna was none other than Ghansham himself. The same man everyone believed was silent and religious. Was actually the biggest monster in the house. Later that night, Bola returns to the basement. This time, his intentions are even more dangerous. Anuja fights back. But Bola grabs her throat and starts choking her. Now both girls understand one terrifying reality. If they don't escape tonight, they may never leave this place alive. Somehow, Anuja manages to free her hands. Then they notice a large hole in one corner of the basement. Desperate for survival, they begin crawling through it. At the same time, Neha's brother Neru arrives at the house. By now, he knows something is terribly wrong. He confronts Ghansham and Bola aggressively. But both men lie without hesitation. Meanwhile, Anuja and Neha finally crawl out of the basement. And the moment Neha sees her brother standing outside, for the first time that night, she feels hope. But the real question is, will they actually escape alive? Or will the darkness of that house consume them forever? To find out what happens next, watch till the end.